So now it's my great pleasure to award the President's Medal. It's the highest honor the university bestows on a member of the Maryland community. This year's medalist is Dr. Ritu Agarwal, Robert H. Smith's Dean's Chair of Information Systems and the Director of the Center for Health Information and Decision Systems. Dr. Agarwal, would you please stand? Dr. Agarwal is a pioneer in the field of health information systems and health analytics. She has brought her detailed work ethic to high-impact projects that include the use of mobile technology for chronic disease management, risk prediction for opioid use disorder, racial disparities in healthcare, and how online communities can help improve exercise habits and overall health. Having been named a University of Maryland Distinguished Scholar Teacher in 2011 and the first female Distinguished University Professor in 2017 in the Smith School of Business, Dr. Agarwal has been recognized time and time again for her contributions. Her natural leadership has been an asset in numerous positions, including Department Chair, Senior Associate Dean, and Interim Dean. Her unique insight and problem-solving skills have also been put to good use as a key member of campus committees and on the University of Maryland Presidential Search Committee in both 2010 and 2020. So you can blame her for why I'm president. I'm just kidding. But for her outstanding record of achievement and transformative impact, I am truly, truly honored to bestow on Dr. Ritu Agarwal the President's Medal.
Good afternoon. Chancellor for Life, Cohen, President Pines, Provost Rice, Deans, Vice Presidents, distinguished guests, faculty and staff colleagues, and students. I stand here today filled with humility and gratitude. I'm humbled by the incredible honor bestowed upon me with the President's Medal, and immensely grateful to the University of Maryland for affording me all the opportunities I've had the privilege to avail of during my time here. The freedom to pursue my passions, a vibrant intellectual environment, we saw some of that just a few minutes before, that is replete with great ideas, and a community that is deeply dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge and societal impact. This honor is even more special and humbling for me because it recognizes what has essentially been a labor of love for me throughout my professional career. Yes, it never felt like work. I would not be here if it were not for the unconditional love and support of my family, my close circle of friends who are more than willing to tell me when I am wrong, and the countless professional colleagues who have served as mentors, helped me along the way, and taught me invaluable lessons that I have used with my own mentees. Each and every one of them owns a piece of this medal. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Today, I would like to share some reflections on the two domains that have been central to my professional identity over the past 3 decades and have consumed most, if not all, of my cognitive resources and energy. One, unsurprisingly, is education, my chosen vocation. The second that I came to approximately halfway through my career is health. And this latter pivot was motivated by a desire to use my capabilities for greater impact, to apply whatever knowledge, skills, and scholarly ability I had to solve puzzles and problems that affect every individual on this planet. My field is information systems. I study and I teach students about the transformational power of information technology and data and analytics, all of the advanced capabilities enabled by technological innovation, and how they might be harnessed not only to drive business success, but equally to address some of the world's most vexing problems. So let me reflect on the state of education and healthcare globally and then closer to home. Out of a global GDP of $87.35 trillion in 2019, and I use pre-pandemic numbers here, public expenditure on education was around 4.4% of world GDP. The corresponding number for health was 9.5% of GDP. That's a lot of spending, but perhaps not enough. Data allows us to see a clearer picture of our nation's performance on important metrics for education and healthcare. America spends more per student than any other major developed nation on K-12 education, and our provost knows this better than I. Yet, teenagers lag academically behind peers in Asia and Europe in reading, math, and science. America spends more per student on colleges and universities than virtually every other country in the developed world. Yet, there are major gaps in access to college by socioeconomic status. Even if you have the means, that's not enough. Higher socioeconomic status Black and Latinx students are less likely to attend selective colleges than their white peers. Let me now turn to healthcare. America spends more on healthcare per capita than any other country in the world. I repeat, any other country in the world. Yet, our health outcomes are far below nations that spend considerably less. Fact, disease burden is higher in the United States than in comparable countries. Fact, the US ranks last in a measure of healthcare access and quality, indicating higher rates of avoidable mortality than peer countries. Fact, maternal mortality rates in the US have risen over time and are much higher than in peer countries. And fact, health disparities are a leading cause of avoidable morbidity and mortality amongst marginalized communities in the United States. I could spend all day talking about this. The COVID-19 pandemic and its immeasurable and ongoing toll on the planet has foregrounded these two sectors in a way that has not penetrated our collective consciousness as deeply before. We are at an inflection point. We have the opportunity to use the power of innovation, of systems, technologies, data, algorithms, AI, machine learning, analytics, to create unprecedented value in education and healthcare, and to address our nation's lackluster performance and outcomes, to expand access in a way that was not possible before, to advance and promote the cause of equity by addressing the digital divide in education and healthcare, by ensuring that automated algorithms are free from bias, by using the power of data to expose and correct disparities, to ensure that an individual's prospect for getting an education or living a healthy life are not a function of the country or zip code she lives in. That's the opportunity and the challenge that lies ahead of us. Being part of this great university community has given me a privilege that countless others do not have, of being able to drive discourse and to drive action. And that is a privilege that I will use to the best of my ability. I will close with the words of Benjamin Mays, a poet that happens to be a favorite with the much revered DC police chief, Robert Conte. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. That is the urgency with which we must act. Thank you once again for the honor. Thank you.